So today we're going to be talking through some foot mobility drills. Since a lot of us are kind of locked up at home here, we might as well make advantage of what we've got. And one of the things that we might find is a lot more often these days, while we're inside, not leaving the house so often, we actually spend a lot more time not wearing shoes than normal. So we're going to go through some drills of how you can mobilize your feet, strengthen your feet up and just get them moving a little bit more than they normally do. I'm sure some people know, but if you ever look at a picture of a skeleton of a foot, there's quite a lot of separate bones all around. It's not just one big chunk of bone, and the reason for that is all of those bones are supposed to be able to move around and absorb force when your foot hits the ground. Of course, when we wear shoes and we wear something that's quite tight and restricts that movement, they don't get to be moved around so much. So foot mobility drills can actually be really important in especially in things like injury prevention. So I'm going to walk you through just a bunch of things that you can try right now. Don't be surprised if a lot of these are very difficult, especially at the start. People feel like they can't do them at all. I'm showing the full movements in all of these, but just imagine you don't need to move very far at the beginning. It'll take quite a while to develop it the whole way. So first up, we're going to try and get all of our toes off the ground as high as they can possibly go. So we're going to lift them all the way up, and then on the way down, we're going to lift our feet up a little bit. So we're going to try and scrunch them all the way in. Now, don't worry if you can't go very far. I'm showing my full range here, so you get a good idea of what this should look like. But for a lot of people, we don't really use our toes independently of our feet very, very often at all. So don't be surprised if you can just about get them high enough for a playing card to slide under. Also, when you're scrunching your feet up, be aware if you go too far too soon, you're likely to cramp. So like I said, one of the things is just aim for a little tiny bit off the ground. If you're really finding this difficult, you can try turning your ankles in a little bit as well at the very start. And obviously we're just going to try and progress to the point where we don't need to do this. So next up, this one's quite a bit harder. So now your goal is to lift just your big toe off the ground and see, can you lift it up, and also can you keep it up without any of the other toes lifting or moving. Again, just like before, don't worry if it's not too high. Once you drop your big toe down, you're going to try and lift all of the other toes. So it's the big toe versus the other toes in opposition, just up and down at whatever height you can get. Sometimes you might find that you need to use your hands and press down to stop the other ones moving. That's fine for a little bit, and then just like before, gradually encourage it little by little to get off the ground. Next, we've got an exercise involving scrunching your toes all the way as close together as they can, and then trying to get them as wide apart as possible. The together should be easy enough for most people. Getting them wide can be a little difficult. Even for myself, I can't really do this without also lifting them, as you might be able to see. The other thing you might notice is I'm kind of cheating a little bit. I'm digging my big toe into the ground so I can help spread my toes. So that's another thing you can use to help you with this part of the exercise. Okay, final one. This one is very difficult. You're going to try and make waves with your toes. So this is a little bit like you're playing the piano, but with your feet. And the idea is you're going to lift all your toes off the ground, and then from the little toe to the big toe, you're going to try and drop them one at a time. Now, as you get towards the middle, you're probably not going to drop them one at a time. But the most important bit is your little toe goes first and your big toe should be last. And if you want to progress this one, the final stage that you would do would be to drop all of them, but then keep the big toe extended for a little bit longer and then drop. So those are the drills. Like I said, don't be surprised if you really find you can't go very far or you can't move very much, especially at the beginning of trying these drills. But let us know how you get on. If you got any questions or comments, leave them below. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.